heard that theme song in a while. But it is time to go out to the other coast of the United States where Michael Snyder lives down in Hollywood, and that's where they make the movies but have nowhere to show them. And here he is to tell us what's happening in the movies that are out there. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Alex. Greetings. Hi, everybody. They're making movies, or they're getting back to making movies, or they're trying to, and they're releasing what they have in a variety of ways, and that's been sort of an issue for those of us that do reviews and such. For instance, last week, they finally put out The New Mutants, a Marvel film that was part of the X-Men franchise at Fox. Disney absorbed Fox. They finally decided to release the film. They didn't show it to any critics. They only released it to theaters that were open worldwide, and I guess drive-ins, and I still have yet to see it. I'm not risking going to a movie theater. And then this week, a more important film. By the way, that movie did not get good reviews from those who did see it, speaking in general terms. And then Christopher Nolan, the esteemed Christopher Nolan, has a movie in the can for the past few months called Tenet. We're all looking forward to it. I love science fiction. I love his puzzle box films. And this movie, again, released only to theaters and I guess drive-ins. And Warner Brothers did not make it available to us to review this weekend. And that's shocking because this is an important filmmaker. And,
I would say when it does come out, boycott it, don't go see it, because Tenet is being shown only in theaters, and that's a dangerous place to encourage people to go right now.
I agree. I'm rather disturbed, and that's why I want to give kudos to Disney, who this weekend, price notwithstanding, are dropping Mulan on Disney Plus. And let's talk about that for a second. Mulan, passing on its original blockbuster theatrical release and premiering on Disney Plus for a $30 charge for home viewing, is probably my favorite animation to live-action Disney remake to date. Some of them are pretty, obvious money grabs. This was actually pretty well done. It's repurposing the content of the musical fantasy cartoon Mulan, about a legendary young woman warrior in Imperial China who disguises herself as a man to fight in the Emperor's army rather than her father, her aged and injured father, going to represent their family. And the fight is against a Hun-like northern invasion. And this movie dumps the songs and the talking dragon of the cartoon and embraces the style of Hong Kong period sword and sorcery movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Hero. So what we have here is a sumptuous, action-packed extravaganza with scads of practical fight scenes and military battles amid CGI enhancements, and it's well performed by a renowned cast of Asian and Asian American actors, led by Yifei Liu, otherwise known as Crystal Liu, who's very popular in Asia and is lives in the States a lot of the time. And she plays the heroic Mulan. Si Ma and Rosalind Chow as Mulan's father and mother. That's Rosalind Chow, Keiko O'Brien from the Star Trek shows. The award-winning, world-renowned Chinese actress Gong Li as the villainous sorceress of the film. So there's a little magic here involved. Jason Scott Lee is the Mongol-like conqueror type, Ori Khan, and in a martial arts superstar twofer, Donnie Yen as the commander of the Emperor's forces, and no less than Jet Li himself as the Emperor. This thing kind of worked. I mean, it doesn't go any new places for these sort of films, but this is done with such care and done with, a lot of heart and emotion, directed by Nicky Caro. Obviously, there was a veritable legion of screenwriters on this thing, but it actually worked for me. And if you can cough up the $30 at home, this is something the whole family will enjoy. A little under 2 hours. And, I recommend Mulan, believe it or not.
I would suggest not coughing it up. And here's the reason why. I subscribe to Disney Plus, okay? In order to see this, by the way, you have to subscribe to Disney Plus. You can't see it if you just, you don't have Disney Plus. And then this is all of a sudden something they've done that they weren't supposed to do, and that's put an add-on. Not just a cheap add-on, a $30 add-on. I somehow feel ripped off for having joined Disney Plus.
Understood. If it's one person watching this for $30, it does smack of a ripoff. But if you've got the whole family involved, remember your tote board for tickets if you and your wife go to a movie. It's ridiculous at this point in time. So I'm saying that they're, to begin with, they're mistaken to think that $30 is a good price. Okay, I think $19.95 probably would do it. Okay. But $30 is highway robbery. Well, yes and no. It is one of those big. It was meant to be a big theatrical blockbuster, and it looks like it. You are getting a lot of bang for the buck.
I will tell you now that if they had done it at $19.95 instead of $29.95, they would have made a lot more money.
Well, let's see how things play out this weekend, and we'll talk about it next time we get together. But in the meantime, purely on the cinematic virtues of the film, I say, yes, Mulan is good. All right, another movie that was destined for theaters originally and ended up going direct to video, Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's not significant or very funny, but it's a lot of fun. And it's so amiable that, it's hard for me to want to say anything too critical. And in case you're thoroughly pop culture challenged, it's the third movie in a trilogy of dumb guy buddy comedies that began like 30 years ago with the time-traveling stoner romp Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, followed by Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. These two best friends, suburban goofballs and wannabe rock stars, Bill and Ted, are in high school. They're going to fail history in the original film. And by the way, they were played then and are played now by Alex Winter and no less than Keanu Reeves. The latter is still on board despite this career resurgence right now with the John Wick films and the return to the Matrix franchise. But anyway, in the first movie, they meet a guy from the future who travels in what looks like a phone booth, shades of Doctor Who. The guy's played by the late comedian and satirist George Carlin, the great George Carlin. He's gone now, but they're back 30 years later because they never did what they were destined to do, which was write and perform a song that was going to make save the world, bring harmony to the universe. And so they still have to do this. They're on a time crunch, a ticking clock, and they've got to figure out how to do it. So they grab the phone booth they used to travel in and go to visit their future selves to see where and when they wrote the song. You know what? It's a lot of fun. You got Kristen Schaal playing the Carlin character's daughter. It's these guys clearly loved the roles. They went back to it. And the movie is kind-hearted and well-meaning, just like the twin lead characters. It's obvious that everyone involved here knows and loves the Bill and Ted characters, including Winter and Reeves, and they jump back right into these cheerful, guileless roles. And if you were a fan of the original movies and saw them, I'd recommend this. It'll bring a smile to your face. If you've never seen the original movies, you're going to be lost. It'd be like a shrug.
You can see I made it through about 20 minutes of this drivel. But anyway,
were you a big fan of the original film?
Yes, but I found it rather pathetic to see Keanu Reeves with that haircut, and what's his name came out looking much better in this film than he did.
Alex Winter. Look, you know what? I think fans of the movie are going to love it. You might have enjoyed the first films, but it's 30 years down the road. If you want to see it, it's on Fandango now, Vudu, Amazon, Apple, Google Play, and YouTube. Another one that's coming out this weekend, as opposed to Bill and Ted, which has been around for a few days already. The Owners. This is not a groundbreaker, but the UK crime horror hybrid The Owners is entertaining and engaging and raised above the usual B-movie standard by having a trio of compelling actors on board. Maisie Williams of Game of Thrones, and yes, this recent New Mutants film. Sylvester McCoy, speaking of Doctor Who, the seventh Doctor on Doctor Who, and Rita Tushingham, who was the 60s ugly duckling ingenue and working-class heroine of The Knack and How to Get It, A Taste of Funny, and also in Dr. Zhivago, and more recently, the British zombie TV series In the Flesh. So the premise here is that three louts, not those three characters, decide to break into a big house outside of their town and pop open a safe while the elderly couple that lives there are elsewhere. So Williams plays the unwitting girlfriend of one of the delinquents, and she finds herself pulled into the scheme against her will. McCoy and Tushingham are the oldsters. And by the way, McCoy's character is a doctor. Who'd have thunk that one? Anyhow, when the doctor and his lady come home early, things go awry for all concerned. To say more would ruin the minor pleasures of the owners, which was based on a 2011 French graphic novel, Une Nuit de Pleine Lune, in English, A Full Moon Night. It won't stand as a landmark in movie history, but it's a serviceably creepy way to while away 90 minutes on a Friday or Saturday night, directed by Julius Berg, who co-wrote the script with Mathieu Gompel, based on the graphic novel. You can see it on Fandango now and a few of the other movie, I guess you call them video-on-demand options. The Personal History of David Copperfield is now out. Not the Vegas musician, a magician, and celebrity. This is bright, earnest, good-natured.
Wait a minute. I saw this film a year ago.
Yeah, it was available in the UK, and you were able to see it a year ago, but it's only now available via legal means in America. And it's
I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful film. It's based on the book by Charles Dickens, the Victorian author, venerated in the UK. The Personal History of David Copperfield is a new movie of the story directed by and co-screenwritten by Armando Iannucci, the Brit best known here in the States as the creator of the hit political comedy Veep, and of also the sci-fi show Avenue 5. Iannucci's work in England is long-running. I mean, he co-developed Steve Coogan's insufferable TV character, Alan Partridge. I mean, he's usually cynical and snarky, but he's always witty, and he saves the dark stuff for the more pompous or despicable types in Personal History of David Copperfield. It's a lovely and funny condensation of the Dickens movie, true to the narrative, even as it kind of modernizes the tone here and there and engages in colorblind, multicultural casting. I mean, it's still the Victorian setting, but guess who's playing David Copperfield? Dev Patel of Slumdog Millionaire in the newsroom, and British born and raised, but of Indian heritage. And how about this? His sweetheart, Agnes Wickham, is played by the African-British actress Rosalind Eleazar. Her father is played by Benedict Wong of the Marvel movies. And you got Hugh Laurie, Tilda Swinton, Peter Capaldi, Gwendolyn Christie. I mean, this is breezy, well-acted, uplifting, and a treat to watch whether you're acquainted with the novel and its various screen adaptations or not. You see, unlike Bill and Ted, you can just jump into A Personal History. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it highly. Okay, quickly, Get Duked, which is available on Amazon Prime, another comic enterprise from the UK, although Scottish separatists might argue, saying it's with the idea that it's a UK movie. All that aside, it's a crazy mix of comedy and horror about a quartet of misfit teenage boys from Glasgow who are tapped to participate in a camping and orienteering program known as the Duke of Edinburgh Award. They're brought to a starting point in the Scottish Highlands, where an advisor sets them on their way over hill and dale, and they have a designated length of time to navigate this stretch of terrain and reach a beachfront miles away. They're kind of problem kids, and the trek seems to be a character-building exercise, and they don't give a damn. They just want to get stoned. They're not taking it seriously, except for one of them. The fourth guy is this straight-laced type who actually wants to get the commendation and wants to play it straight, but somebody or something is hunting them along the way. Things get wackier and wackier, saying any more would undermine the enterprise. I will say the movie, written and directed by a music video vet, Ninian Doff, is trippy and generally a good time. And by the way, the only actor in the cast who would be familiar to most viewers here in the States is comic Eddie Izzard in a significant role. And I'd recommend watching it, Alex, with the subtitles on or closed captioning. Man, when the kids are talking fast or using slang, the Scottish accents are very, very difficult to decipher, laddie. So Get Duped is a lot of fun, and please use your subtitles, Americans. Just finally, quickly,
not another movie, for crying out loud. We're already 15
altogether
minutes
now
into
on
this
Netflix
thing.
Is a nice family thing. About a girl. And,
All right,
yeah,
enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah. Okay, you get into the trivia stuff now.
Well, people are going to like it, but you're right. That's all I wanted to get out there. The other films are the ones I wanted to concentrate on.
Into this essay, I mean, you should have picked 2 or 3 films, and we should have been done with it.
Well, you would think so, but we take a few weeks off, and we're doing a little catch-up. And I also wanted to address this whole issue with the movie companies doing what they're doing with movies like Tenet and the New Mutants, because it's kind of wreaking a little havoc. So there you go. We covered a lot of things, and for better or worse, there you have it. What are you watching, buddy?
Nothing. We're just binge watching some stuff we missed. The Americans, as an example. I don't know if you ever watched it, but
I watched every episode. Matthew Rhys and
it sucked. It sucked for the first 4 seasons. For the first 3 seasons. The 4th season it picks up.
It doesn't suck, but then again, who is to say anymore, right? Yeah. We all have our own opinions. Thus, we do the show. That's it. You can catch me on Twitter at Culture Blaster and also on Facebook at Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page. And you're on GABNet.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. That's our movie reviews for this month. We'll see you again later. But in the meantime, stay tuned right here. There's more GABNet coming right up. Okay.